So unless you've been living under a rock, anybody who keeps up to date with the latest information about the Nintendo Switch 2 or Nintendo's next-gen system knows that earlier this week, we had one of the biggest leaks that's happened for this upcoming Nintendo system, as we had somebody apparently upload like model files and renders of exactly what the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to look like, and then we even had supposed like shells of like what the Joy-Cons and kind of what the system is going to look like with the motherboard starting to be assembled. And so it seems like these are like basically prototypes of the Nintendo Switch 2 or just kind of early into development, not really like the final version, but it does give you a really good idea of basically what to expect with this system. And if things couldn't get crazier, it seems like somehow a Chinese YouTuber managed to get a hold of these render files and be able to 3D print herself out a model of the Nintendo Switch 2 to show us exactly what it's going to look like. Now, I'm going to show a few clips from her video inside of this, but definitely go and check out her entire video. She actually has English subtitles, so you can understand everything that she's saying, even though the video is in Chinese, and she just did a really good job making the video, so I will have it linked below in the description if you want to go and check it out for yourself. But man, just making this video and this whole topic, it just reminds me of that whole era of like finding out the NX was called the Nintendo Switch, and man, it just really reminds me of Erika. Like, I miss him so much because during this era, like, I remember when he tried to like trick everyone into thinking that he had a Nintendo Switch because he had like a fake 3D rendered like mock-up of a Switch as well, and then on live stream he just like randomly pulled that out and then started taking out a Joy-Con and putting it in, and everybody started losing their mind thinking that he had a Nintendo Switch somehow. Man, it's just so crazy because that whole era, and then like thinking now about that and looking at a mock-up of the Switch 2, I hope he's having a lot of fun with the Switch 2, man. But we're going to take a look at this right here, and I think that this is going to give us a really good idea of what to expect from this system. Now, what's really crazy is that this YouTuber actually mentioned that she had access to these 3D render files for a while, but she didn't want to be the one to upload them first and show everyone what the Switch 2 looks like. But now that somebody like leaked the design of the system and all of that out there, she was like, it's safe for me to start showing this now. So now she's making a video of the 3D model that she has. So I have no idea how she managed to get this. I guess stuff like this just isn't really super protected in China because it really seems like a lot of times these tech leaks for like new phones and things just always seem to come out from China. But hey, I'm happy that she actually has some information about the Switch 2. And I guess if Nintendo doesn't want to do that reveal, we're just going to keep getting information from China about the Switch 2, and I will happily take it. Honestly, if Nintendo's going to wait really long, then we might have all the information we need about the Switch 2 because we're only going to keep getting more and more leaks, and they're only going to be getting more and more detailed as we get closer to the system. But we got some cool stuff here, so I do want to talk about it with you guys. Alright, so here is her video where we can see right here, she's got a normal Nintendo Switch OLED, but then also an entire 3D printed mock-up of the Nintendo Switch 2. And just her holding both of these, you can really see kind of the difference as to how big the Switch 2 is going to be compared to the Switch OLED. And throughout this video, she's got some really good comparisons right here where we can see exactly what the size difference is going to be like. So here is kind of like a size difference with the Nintendo Switch OLED model. You can see here the Switch 2 is going to be considerably bigger. And then also just like looking at a side-by-side view here too, you can see there's definitely going to be some more width to the Nintendo Switch 2, but also some height as well. But they also look very similar to each other. And that was one of the biggest things that came out when the design leaks first came out, was a ton of people were just saying like, it looks just like a normal Nintendo Switch OLED that we have right now. It barely looks like it changed, it's just bigger. And I think that really kind of shows you that Furukawa and Nintendo and all of them really kind of just want to play it very safe moving into this next generation, because I think a ton of people love the Nintendo Switch. We just want more power and performance so that we can actually get some of these new games that are releasing on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and skipping out on Nintendo to actually start coming to Nintendo systems, because it's not like those developers hate Nintendo and they don't want to put their games on Nintendo systems. It's just the current Nintendo Switch right now is so weak that they would have to go through so much effort and so many extents basically to get their game to work on the current Nintendo Switch, and just having access to better power would definitely be able to allow them to actually put those games on Nintendo systems as well. And even Nintendo's own first-party games, like I think just there's definitely some first-party games now too where the performance is starting to dip in terms of some of their ambitious games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and just having that type of stuff get improved is really kind of the biggest thing that people wanted to see. So I'm not really upset that there isn't some drastic design change where you're getting like hexagon shaped Joy-Cons or anything like that. Honestly, I don't really need to have that to be like satisfied with the system. And we can see right here, like with the difference with the Joy-Cons too, the Joy-Con is going to be bigger as well compared to the Joy-Con that we have right now. Looks like it's going to be a little bit wider as well. So if you're somebody who thinks that this current Joy-Con is definitely really small and it's not working for your hands, you'll be happy that this one is definitely bigger. Maybe it's actually going to fit more comfortably in people's hands compared to a Steam Deck, which she does right here in the video. The Steam Deck actually has a smaller screen with just a 7.4-inch screen compared to the Switch 2, which is going to have an 8-inch screen, but still the Steam Deck is just much bigger in terms of the system itself. And that's obviously because the side here definitely has like these grips built into it, and it has like these trackpad things and the joysticks and everything, so it's definitely just a bigger system in general. But I am happy that the Switch 2 is still trying to look like a sleek system, and it's not trying to be super bulky or anything like that. But then also, we actually have some ideas here for like what it's going to look like where you're taking off the Joy-Cons, where like these Joy-Cons on the Switch 2 are actually going to have these buttons now on the back where you push them in and then you pull out the Joy-Cons to basically take them out of your Switch. And that's definitely different compared to like these little buttons that we have right now where you just hold the button and slide up from the rail. So it's going to be interesting to see how those feel when you're actually holding the Switch in handheld mode. Hopefully these buttons don't get in the way and it doesn't feel like super bumpy or like kind of in the way of your fingers when you're holding it. That's kind of what I'm really worried about, but I think it should be pretty fine. So that's not too bad. But then she also started talking about one of the biggest changes, which is this new button here that's going to be on the right Joy-Con. And this was rumored all the way back in April, but we have no idea exactly what this button is going to be. And she says right here that there's the letter C on it here. So I guess the C is going to be on this button, and we don't know exactly what it's going to be for, but she says here it's actually going to be for a camera. There's going to be somehow a camera accessory where she says right here that the USB-C port on the top is actually going to be used to connect an external camera. So she's saying that Nintendo is going to greatly enhance the sense of motion on the Switch 2. And with that, she said the Switch's Joy-Con's motion technology is going to be greatly improved, and she even starts like showing some clips here with like Wii Sports and things. So I guess that is basically going to be like the gimmick for the Nintendo Switch 2. If anybody was wondering if the Switch 2 was going to have a gimmick, there you go. It seems like there's going to be various accessories that you're going to be able to attach to like the USB-C slot on the top of the system, and I guess your Joy-Cons are going to be able to connect to it, and I guess other games as well. And like those types of accessories are what you're now going to be able to have in terms of like different features in different games. And I guess that's really going to be like your gimmick for this generation, because I could see Nintendo releasing like various types of accessories like an external camera, maybe other peripherals and things, and maybe those are going to be used with various games. So that definitely sounds very gimmicky to me. This was actually rumored all the way back in terms of like, I think hearing about the Switch 2 very early. And I mean, if you saw this video actually right here where I made the video saying everything that we know about the Switch 2 in one video, in that video I even talked about how it's rumored that there might be some type of camera related thing with the Switch 2, and I guess this is exactly what was rumored. So that is going to be interesting to see how it's going to work with games. I guess we're just going to have to wait to learn more information, because right now I can't really comment that much on it. It definitely sounds very gimmicky to me, but who knows? Maybe this could actually be really innovative, and maybe Nintendo's got some really cool ideas with some of their new games and stuff that are coming out. But yeah, besides that, I mean, we can kind of see here some of the other stuff that she's talking about with like the performance of the system, the chip that it's going to be using. So of course, the NVIDIA T239 chip. A lot of this is pretty much what I've talked about as well. 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 SSD and all of that. So yeah, that's making a lot of sense. She also talks a little bit about the DLSS technology, which is going to be used to upscale stuff, having HDMI 2.1. And yeah, I mean, pretty much it seems like this system is actually going to be a massive increase coming from the current Nintendo Switch, and I'm very happy with that. Besides that, I mean, right here, she doesn't really talk too much about anything else. I think there is some other comparisons that she does, but we don't really know. She talks a little bit about the release in terms of like when we're going to hear information in terms of a reveal, and she was talking about how we might hear something about a presentation happening in October. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of all the information. We've got another comparison here with the Steam Deck, and then I think she also did a comparison with the PlayStation Portal as well. But yeah, it's pretty useful having an entire 3D printed version of the Switch 2 where we can actually have it now compared to other systems and get an idea of exactly how big this system is going to be. But at the same time, we might have also gotten a leak now for what the gimmick is going to be for this system. And I guess that new button that's on the right Joy-Con with like the C on it is going to be used for some type of camera feature. And I guess the USB-C slot on the top is going to have access for an external camera and maybe other things that you can attach on there too. I guess we're going to have to wait and see exactly how true that turns out to be. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day here, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the Switch 2. Really hoping the reveal is very soon. She mentioned October in this, but I don't know if that's like her own thing that she's coming up with, like that she's getting from sources, or if that's just going off of kind of like that article that she showed where somebody said that it was going to happen in early October. Guess we're just going to have to wait and see, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely going to have some more videos talking about the Switch 2, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this. How do you guys feel about the size of the Switch 2, seeing it here now compared to other things? What do you feel about this potential camera gimmick and new feature that's going to be a part of the Switch 2? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.